NFL, man, the conference championships are here, AFC and NFC championships. You have one-legged Mahomes against Burrow, the new upcoming stud there. And then, of course, you have the 49ers and Eagles with the 7th-round pick wonder the 49ers have.
Yeah.
And, of course, Jalen Hurts with Philly.
With the exception of Buffalo, who really played poorly. Like, how could you be disappointed with this Final Four?
You just can't.
It's a great Final Four. There should be 2 really great games.
You have some Cowboy fans that may disagree.
I mean, the Cowboys are not good.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
this is
football news. I mean, these are 4 heavyweight teams, great player. I mean, like, this is fantastic. The only other team for me, potentially talent-wise, is Buffalo, but they had a chance. They just didn't make it. But the Bengals kind of dominated them at home. I think this is great.
Before you go into that, what's interesting? You just sparked a thought by me.
All right.
NFL more so than NBA basketball. You get and boxing. You get the matchups that you want in the NFL more so than NBA. We never got the Kobe, LeBron that we wanted. There's other, and I could think of more. And boxing, that's like the common theme. Like, we just don't get the fights that we really want, the boxing fans. And when we do, they're so old. It wasn't in their prime.
There's too much power with the fighters.
It is, and their managers or whatever.
Yeah.
They want to stay undefeated.
They get to pick and choose.
But NFL, man, we get them. We get them. We get the Mannings and Bradys, the Mahomes and Burrows, and we get them, man, on a yearly basis.
Well, I mean, that position is so critically important to success.
Yeah.
And when you have an elite guy in the top of in his peak, you should be in these games. It's extremely disappointing if you don't get to these games and play in them. So. Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, it's great storylines. I mean, the Chiefs faced a great gut test. I mean, Mahomes goes down with an ankle injury. Chad Henne engineers a 97-yard drive to kind of keep the lead and keep things positive. Pat comes back in the second half and clearly hobbled, but did enough. It was a good gut check win. The Bengals got to feel great about that. I mean, they go to Buffalo in the snow, control the game from beginning to end. That was a masterclass.
It was a straight up masterclass, man.
Yeah,
and from all sides of the ball.
Yeah, and I mean the 49ers, kind of, I felt for the most part they controlled that game. And then Philadelphia, again, upper hand pretty much.
Yeah.
So
I did say, and you got Chris commenting saying the Cowboys 49ers game had 47 million views, but that was a really good game, man. Like, just watching it, it was a really good game. I thought it was the best game of that weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Nah, I enjoyed the Chiefs game the most. Just because you had a great team facing adversity and coming through.
You did, but I just never thought we were going to lose.
The 49ers Dallas game was not a pretty game to watch, but I will say this: I think it was the most violent football game I watched all year.
Right?
No, I mean that was a physical game.
Yeah,
and they hit. I mean, there was just a lot of violent hitting in that game. Not, I'm not saying it illegally. It was just one of those. I mean, men only, like real dudes only.
Yeah,
that was it was entertaining in that, but I mean, to me, like the level of play wasn't. I mean, it was a 19-12 game.
No, for sure.
That wasn't the greatest thing.
And then Carvis, of course he's a Joe Burrow guy because he's an LSU guy.
Right.
Yeah, so shout out to Carvis at LSU. But Joe Burrow, man, this is another thing too.
How could you not be a Joe Burrow guy?
Yeah, I'm a Chiefs fan, but like I like Joe Burrow. I'm not going to sit here and say anything bad about him.
I think I think Joe Burrow is like you said it. Like how can you just? I like Joe Burrow. Like I got my favorite team.
Yeah.
I got maybe my favorite quarterback.
Right.
But I like Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
like there's
just
nothing.
like him. Every time he talks out there, I love his arrogance, his brashness.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, man, with these two quarterbacks. It's unfortunate Mahomes is dinged up and hurt, but it kind of is what it is, man. If he takes the field, Joe Burrow beats him for a fourth time. Now, here goes the thing. The only thing that's saving Mahomes and the best quarterback of the world, thing that the fans and media kind of puts on the player, is that he's going to win MVP this year, hands down. So that's 2 MVPs and 1 Super Bowl. So if Joe Burrow beats him, he would have to win the Super Bowl, right? And then you can toggle the MVPs. That's a lot of MVPs too for such a young career. But hey, you just got beat this guy 4 times head up, 2 times in the playoffs. That means something.
Yeah.
And I of course I talk about it all the time. The Bengals have a better team. It's because Burrow is on the rookie contract. But so what, man? That's a small piece of this big pie.
Well, you did a great piece, maybe a month or so ago, and you kind of assembled like this laundry list of just crazy Mahomes stats.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of that stuff I didn't realize, watching week to week. But then when you said it, you're like, wow. And if Joe Burrow wins this weekend and he has 4-0 against Pat Mahomes,
that means
that
something,
gets
man.
one of those numbers that wow, I can't ignore that. That's kind of crazy.
You can't ignore it, man.
You
just can't ignore it, and it has a possibility of it happening. And just, man, unless like Mahomes starts the game and can't finish it, midway through the first or something, he has to get pulled and then doesn't come back. Now we're talking something different.
Yeah, if it was something like if for some reason he's only able to play a small portion of the game, then it becomes a different thing.
Yeah, but outside of that, suit up
and honestly, I mean, I can't imagine Pat not playing the game.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he gets dinged again, it would have to take like a major injury for him not to play.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
he was dying to get back in there.
I know. I was gonna say, what happened to him last week was pretty significant, and he wasn't having not coming back.
Right.
That was, that just wasn't an option for him.
Yeah.
I was just a little bit of an aside, but I was on what the heck, TikTok the other day, and they had Gary Vitti, the Lakers trainer, was rehashing when Kobe tore his Achilles, and all the different stuff that Kobe said in the minutes afterward. He's just like, can we just tape it? Can we he was like, he's just like, he ran through all the options, and until it was like, no, I'll let you take these 2 free throws, and then you're gonna get out of here. But it's just like the mentality of like a true warrior is just like, all right, what do I have to do to go on? They can't wrap their head around the idea that they can't go on.
Exactly.
No matter how bad the injury or the pain is, they're just not equipped to say, okay, my night is done. I can't do this anymore.
No, exactly, man.
So.
No, that's for sure. So that's the NFL. We'll see how those games wrap up for sure this weekend, and we'll be back.
What do you see here? I see the Chiefs in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I originally I saw Chiefs 49ers a couple of weeks ago, as you can project as the playoffs started. I'll just go ahead and stick with that. Philly looked incredibly strong. I said this before the Philly game. They was trying to hype up the Giants or what have you because Jalen was just coming back. But I said, man, when Jalen was in the game and they were hitting midstream in the season, I mean, they looked like the best team in football.
Yeah, they did.
So it looks like as long as Jalen is healthy and he's been out, they were cautious with him and he's ready. I just don't see how any of these, especially the Giants, a team like the Giants, are going to stick with them, and that's what happened. So I don't know. It's going to be a tall task. The 49ers I just think they have the best roster, top to bottom, in the league. What's funny is I think that the 3 teams, 49ers, Eagles, Bengals, in that order, they have the best rosters, top to bottom, and you hear other NFL pundits and things talk about it. They'll say the same thing. That's what's interesting about, and those teams actually made it this far in the playoffs. So, So I'm taking the 49ers, but again, it wouldn't surprise me if Philly, eases out. But it should be a closer game. Like if the Eagles come out and blow the 49ers out, I'm afraid. I just am, man.
Yeah. No. I mean, it'd be a huge statement for them to
man.
Blow the 49ers out.
But I really like
the only recipe for that is if you do have just the moment does become too big for Purdy. Because defensively they're so good. I don't think it's going to be a defensive collapse. Philly's good enough to score points, but I don't see the game's going to get out of hand because the 49er defense just can't get anything done. It would have to be, some sort of Purdy meltdown, a couple turnovers, couple short field situations, and then Philly just, gets on top of them and doesn't let up.
Yeah. The Purdy thing's going to get very interesting in the offseason. All he has to do, I believe, is make the Super Bowl, and he's Teflon. He's probably Teflon right now. So we'll we'll definitely see.